Right, project update time. So I've been doing some stuff on the Souls Maker and it's almost ready to go up now. So what we've done recently is just added the inventory system. So as you can see, I've started off with, actually, you know what? Let's play that in new window. So let's do that. Okay, there we go. As you can see, I've got the health bar with a little bit of health missing. And we're running around and we've got these item pickups. So these are what enemies would drop. You know, like in Dark Souls when they drop the little glowy orbs. So this is like my version of that. So if I interact with it, actually let's look at the inventory first. So we've got our list of items, our list of weapons, and our list of equipments. Don't worry if you don't like it set up like this. I've made each of these menus modular, so you can change around the position of them, you can scale them, you can not have them at all if you didn't want to. But as you can see, we've got our weapons, we've got our short sword, so if we equip that, it'll just pull it out. We've got our wooden shield, and he'll equip that as well, so it's got his little cool equipping animation. So if we pick up this item, you'll see we received 5 medium healths. So now if we look at our inventory, you'll see we've got some medium healths. So the inventory is slot based, but it's also adaptable. So if we picked up something else, what's in this chest? A small health. So now if we go into our inventory, you'll notice the small health has ordered itself above the large one. Oh, hello. Are you coming over for a chat, are you, sir? So if we open up this chest as well, I believe this one gives us a medium health. Yeah, it does. Okay. So before he kills us too badly, let's just get some distance and we'll have one of the medium healths. And as you can see, our health's gone up. And if we take the small health, we've no longer got any. So if we were to go back into our inventory, you can see that that's now disappeared and the medium health has moved up a slot. Pretty cool. So another feature as well, other than the inventory system, is we've updated the weapons. So now if you notice, we're doing 5 damage. But if we do a combo, we're doing 6. And if we do a heavy attack, we're doing 8. So there are damage modifiers on each of the attacks that you can easily control to change the attacks around. So now let's go and loot some more of these chests and get some more of these items. So if we interact with this one, we're going to get a bastard sword, which is pretty cool. And if we go into our inventory, you'll see now that that's slotted itself in after the short sword. And you can see they've all got little item descriptions, and we've pulled it out now. And if we switch back to the short sword and then back to the long sword, there we go. So now we can close out of that, and I'm going to go and pick up the other weapon, which is, I believe, the axe. Yeah, there we go. Just so I can demonstrate the nature of how the slots work in the inventory. So now you can see the woodcutter's axe is slotted itself right in there between the short sword and the bastard sword. So if we switch to that now, we can go and we'll see that we'll do in some different attack damage. And our combos do a lot more damage, and so does our heavy attack. It's all based on the weapon's base attack value. So how does the inventory system work? How are we getting those base attack values and all that good stuff? Well, it's just done with this data table here, really. So we've got our row, our item name, our item description, potentially thumbnails if you want those, and the item effect value. So with the sword, this item effect value is being used to calculate its damage. So that's getting fed into the damage calculation. So whenever we call the event to damage the enemy, which I believe is here, we're going to have this weapon damage. And when we switch weapons, this weapon damage is getting set. So because what I've got is basically a collection of functions that automate a lot of this for you. So when we give the player a weapon, we'll call this, and when we equip stuff, we'll call it from that table too. So this is all done automatically. All you need to do is update that table and the rest will get done for you. But essentially what we're able to do with that is determine how much damage a weapon should do, and then when we're doing the damage rolls, we're going to check to see if we're doing a heavy attack or a combo attack, and we're going to increase the damage by a percentage accordingly. And these will be variables that you can edit, so you'll have like your weapon combo modifier and your heavy attack modifier. And it's the same for items. So to add a new item, you just add a new entry to this list, and then that adds it to the data table. So when you pick up an item, so if we look at the pickup, you'll see that we've got we're calling those functions, we're plugging in the values that we want, We're updating the relevant table. We're automatically getting the quantity and the item name. We're printing that out to a widget with how many we're giving the player and what we're giving the player. So when we put the pickup down, we simply go, we give it the item ID we want to give the player. So in this case, we're going to give it 1, which is the medium health, I believe, the number of items and which item type. So if we uncheck item and check weapon, item ID 1 for weapons should be axes. So now this should give us 5 axes. So we'll just go and demonstrate this. And there you go. So now we've got 5 woodcutter's axe and everything else gets updated automatically. So the woodcutter's axe is now being added to our array of items, which I think you'll agree is pretty cool. So in addition to that, in the in the game instance, we've just got some arrays to store how many of each item we actually have. So you just for every item you add to the data table, just add an entry to the array with how many items you want the player to have, and then when you give the player an item, it will all get done for you. So for an example, let's add a new item into row 3 on the data table. So let's go item name, stamina boost. There you go, that'll do. Item description, slightly boosts stamina temporarily. There we go. And we'll just leave, we'll give it the item effect value. So we're going to have the first person character. We've got a stamina depletion rate and a stamina recharge rate. Our recharge rate is currently 2. So if we go back into our item list, we can give the item effect value of 4, so it's going to double our stamina boost when we consume it. Obviously the code for consuming it isn't part yet because we've only just added the item to the list, but now the item's in the list and it is entry 3. So now if we would go to this pickup and we were to change it to entry 3 and it's now an item, not a weapon, we can now wander over to it, pick it up, and there we go. Now we've got 5 stamina boosts, and it's automatically been slotted into the list. And the cool thing about this is you can control the order that these items appear in the player's inventory without actually having to manually manage each slot. They'll always appear in their default order. When you pick up a new item, it will always appear above the one below it in whatever order you set them out in the data table. So if I give you an example of that now, stamina boost has moved down, the medium health is up, and the small health is above it. So we can then consume these. I mean, it's going to take it away, but we haven't added the effect for it yet. But we can use the health, and now we've used up all those items. They're no longer in our inventory. And when we go and collect some more, so these chests are all weapons down here, but I believe there is an item up here. And this is going to be some large health. Yep, there we go. And there we go, now it's in our inventory along with everything else. So just to go over that again, we'll just go around and we'll loot all the chests and pick up all the items and just so you can see what the inventory looks like when it's full. And obviously we've got these little collision volumes that tell us to interact when we get close. That's our basic shield. So, yes, now we've got another shield, so we can change to that. Sweet. Nice. I think that one looks a lot better. That's got a good block going on. Yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. Right, so let's open up these. And that's how easy it is to create items in the inventory, add them to chests and pickups. So you only need a minimum amount of blueprints, because each blueprint can just give you whatever you want it to be. So you just need the item pickup with each chest, and then you can change the model of the chest, change how it animates, and all that good stuff. But you can use the same blueprint for all of it, and as you can see, our inventory is populating itself out. So if we just go and get the remainder of all this stuff, There's our bastard sword, so let's switch to that actually. And there we go. When to attack this guy. Ooh, you see now if we do a combo. Hey, we do a lot more damage with that combo now. 15 because of the bonus to the attack. So you make a heavy attack actually be a heavy attack. So now we can open this chest, get our large health. And there you go, now our inventory is starting to fill itself out. And we can use items, so if we take this large health out now, let's just kill this guy. We can now look and you'll see that gap has now been filled, and the same if we use the medium health. That gap is now filled. Now I'm sure... Oh, let's see if we can... Oh, yes! Lively. I'm sure I'd put another chest somewhere with the other shield in it, because there's another shield. But yeah, as you can see, we can swap our shields, we can swap our weapons. The axe pulls out from his back, that pulls out from there. We've gone over this before, how you tie the animations to the weapons. But yeah, that's the inventory system set up. There's just a few finishing touches to do to some of the blueprints, add some comments and that good stuff, and this will be available for you to go and get off my page. So yeah, just there you go, just a really cool Dark Souls style inventory system. So like I said, I've made these modular, so if you wanted to have tabs along the top that you cycle along, these are all separate widgets that are just parented to the original one. So if you want, you could just arrange the order that they are, or call them when you want them to be called. I made it super simple for that to happen. They populate themselves automatically with these buttons, so whenever you add new stuff, they'll populate themselves automatically. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to go pick it up, support my future projects, it'd be very much appreciated, and I'll see you soon with the finished product. Oh, and a demo will be available in the description if you want to play around with this. So yeah.